your lesson today?
I am.
Follow Robin Louise 12 on Snapchat. I'm going to go home and do one now as well. Alrighty, let's do it. This is going to be one of those lessons. This is going to be one of those lessons that you will want to take notice of. Those of you who heed the lesson and take action and do the challenge, I assure you, if you keep consistent with it, you will get a result. And I'm talking to 5% of you guys who are actually going to do it. Yeah, the 95, it will be too hard, too challenging, too confronting, then you won't do it. We have 5 primary senses that allow us to navigate through time and space. That's sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste. We use those senses to seek prey and avoid predator, to find out what we love and go for it, and find out what we don't love and move away from it. As relatively intelligent creatures, we are also aware that the other humans that we relate with have the 5 senses as well. So when we try to get a message across to them, we need to know that they are using sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste. So we have to target that. If, and it is a big if you are interested in empowering your senses and mastering your life in the physical plane, getting real-world success, you will need to know how to tickle the senses of other people to sell yourself. You'll need to sell your ideas, your message, your dreams, your goals. You'll need to sell yourself to a partner. If you want a girlfriend, if you want a boyfriend, husband and wife, you've got to sell yourself. They got 3.5 billion other people they can choose from. Why the hell would they choose you? You have to sell yourself. In 95% of business models on the planet, they're positive sum business models that require the sale of some kind of product or service or idea. You have to sell. But what were the middle class told about selling? Selling's not good. Avoid salesmen. You don't want to be sold on anything. So they shut down their own sales. The only people who don't like salespeople or being sold are the people who have bought something in the past that they later regretted and they feel embarrassed and shameful that they bought it. Then what they do is they go and mask the shame with pride and they say, well, the salesman was a fuckwit. He manipulated me, blah, 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 blame, 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 blame. Really what they're saying is I feel very embarrassed that I got suckered into this thing that I didn't do any research on because I was probably infatuated, I didn't have my shit together, I wasn't grounded, I didn't make a wise choice. But that's hard for people to say. People don't want to say that. It's much easier to blame salespeople and the salesmen. So they tell their kids, avoid salesmen. And the kids shut down their ability to sell. And that will affect the way they get on in life. If you can't sell people your idea, if you can't convince them that you've got a good idea, you won't rise in social stature. You won't be able to make much money because you can't sell anything. You'll have trouble getting a job because you won't sell yourself to the best of your ability on your resume. You'll print out one of those standard resumes. Fuck, by the way, I should write a resume book. I don't really stand for getting a job. I've never really had to apply for a job. But if I did, fuck me, I would have the best resume you've ever seen in your life. It would be a big box and fireworks would come out of it and they'd get their fucking attention. It would be phenomenal. I would be selling myself. You know, fucking black and white piece of paper. Why would you do that? Because people don't believe in themselves and they don't sell themselves. I'm going to do a little challenge today because this will make a difference in your life. Firstly, you got to know the order of operations. Out of the 5 primary senses, which one do you think can cover the greatest distance in space? And of course, we know it's sight. You can see farther than you can hear or taste or touch or smell. I can see the city there, but I'm fucked if I can hear what's going on. The second is sound. I can hear those cars very faintly. I can see them and I can hear them, but I can't do anything else. I can't smell them. And it goes down like this. You can see farther than you can hear farther than you can smell farther than you can touch, and you can touch farther than you can taste. This is the order of operation for how we process information in our environment using the senses. Sight comes first. In the mating pool, we go by looks first. Is that a 10 out of 10 or is that a bloke with a ponytail? Secondly, is she laughing like a hyena or does she have a sexy soft voice? I mean, just if this checks out, that's usually enough to warrant going over and having a conversation. If what you hear come out of her mouth is wise, then you might be a little bit interested at this point. You might go for a little sniff. By the way, girls, I'm not excluding you. This applies in reverse for guys as well. The sniff checks out, there's some beautiful perfume or something like that, then you might go for a touch. How's the touch? Is it a nice soft skin, smooth hair? Or is it a bird's nest and is it like a reptile skin? No one's got time for that. And if you're really cooking with gas, eventually you'll get to have a little taste. The individuals that we describe with taste, honey, sugar, cupcake, are the individuals that we've got the closest to. They've checked out with the other 4 senses. If you've ever skipped the other 4 senses and gotten to a taste without having a conversation, that's impressive. Please send me a story. I would like to interview you. But for the sake of this lesson, we are focusing here, sight and sound. These are the 2 king pins. These are the king daddies. And in the human experience, the amalgamation of sight and sound is speaking. If you master the art of speaking, you have an incredible edge. You have an incredible advantage over people who can't speak. Most people can't. And in the modern day business environment, the power is shifting from corporations to the individual, to you and me, people with a message with their phone in front of their face, or in their bedroom with a camera on a tripod or a webcam. The people who are making 6 and 7 figure incomes now doing this will blow you away. I don't see this trend slowing down. This is going to keep going. It will be wise for you, if you follow me, to learn how to speak, to learn how to convey a message. Here's the challenge. As of today, every day, you're going to get your Snapchat. I know you have Snapchat because you fucking watch this. You're going to get your Snapchat out and you're going to put the phone up in front of your face, just like what I'm doing right now. And you're going to talk. You're going to say something. Even if it's 1 snap, 10 seconds. And then you're going to put it on your story so that the people who follow you can watch it and see you. You're going to expose yourself. For some of you, it's going to be easy. You probably already do it. But I know for many people, it won't be easy. It's not easy. It's very awkward the first time you do it. Oh my golly gosh. I read somewhere that people would prefer to be dead than speak in public. In other words, the people would prefer to be in the coffin rather than doing the eulogy and speaking in front of people. That's going to hold them back. And I know from experience that Snapchat is one of the best ways to get comfortable with speaking to a camera. It's 10 seconds, it's instant replay. You can see yourself in the camera. Right now I'm looking at myself, right now I'm looking at the lens, right now I'm looking at myself. It's very instant feedback. If you don't like it, you press X and you record it again. Biggest tips. 1, pretend that the camera is a person, your best friend. Allow your mannerisms to shine through. Allow your personality to shine through. It's very easy to see when someone's sort of glossing over and trying to be polite, and you know that they want to fucking unleash. Just unleash. I want to show you my first one. I've only been Snapchatting for 2 years. My first Snapchat was 2 years ago, April 2015. It was awkward, bloody awkward. All right, this is the inside. We have a strict no shoes policy to keep it clean. This is the inside of Martha. How embarrassing is this? This is where we sleep up here. This is our bed. It's actually very spacious.
It was good.
And very comfortable. It's yeah, it was awkward. I wasn't a good speaker. I was nervous. It felt uncomfortable. I looked like a retard, I thought. I sounded like a retard. Your own voice on camera doesn't sound good when you first do it. When you first listen to a replay of your own voice, golly gosh, it's fucked. You get used to that. You just get used to it. That was 2 years ago I started. And as of today, I could literally stop everything that I do except for Snapchat and coaching. Using Snapchat to funnel into my coaching. Now, granted, I had some specialized knowledge before I even started, and it might take a little longer than 2 years for someone else, but you can get results doing this. And what's more, if you're sharing wisdom, you make a difference in people's lives. You inspire people. You give them permission to play a bigger game. You make a difference in the world. You got to remember that some people are going through some dark times in their life. Having someone with a smile, someone who's bringing light into the day, some vibrance, some enthusiasm. Even if you're just saying, hey, what's going on? How are you guys doing? Have a bloody good day. Sharing a quote, making breakfast with people. You can help people. You can start to build a following. You can start to increase your leadership. And eventually you have enough people following you. Say, what do you guys need? How can I help? Can I build you something? Build it for them. And then you choose a price and you charge it to them and you sell it to them because you sell yourself, because you believe in yourself. And you charge a fair price for you and a fair price for them, fair exchange. And then they get a result because you built it for them and you figured out what they want and you know that you can help them. And they get a result and then they tell their friend who tells their friend and then you don't go to work anymore. So the challenge is speak, put yourself out there, make yourself feel uncomfortable, push the comfort zone, speak every day. Whether you get a result in a day or a week or a month or 10 years, when you get the result from starting to speak and putting yourself out there, let me know.